All right, guys, so now that we have our private route set up, we can go to our dashboard. Now what we want to do is we want to have the ability to create a profile, because right now if we log in, we don't have a profile, and it's going to give us a button to go to a route called / create -profile. So we need to create the component for that in the route, and then add our form and all of our logic and stuff. So let's create in our components folder a new folder, and let's call it create -profile. Okay, and then we're going to create a new file called uppercase C create uppercase P profile.js. Okay, and this is going to be a class-based component, and we're going to call this create profile. Let's go ahead and take the export default and put it down here. And we're going to be using connect, so we might as well just do that now. So we'll say connect, pass in create profile. We'll pass in null for now here, and then let's bring in connect. And let's bring in prop types. Okay. So create profile, it's going to be quite a large form, and what I'm going to do is open up our, let's open up our theme so we can see exactly what this form is going to look like. Let me find it here. So let's see, create profile. So this is basically what it's going to look like. We're going to be able to toggle these social network inputs by clicking this button. But you can see we have our handle, our status, which is a select, our company, website, all this stuff. So all of these they'll be in the component state. We're going to have a text field input, the text field group component we created will be used for most of these. We're also going to create one for a select list as well, and also an input group which has these icons, okay, because these are a little different than the text field group. So we have quite a bit to do here. So let's go back to our create profile component. And let's first of all create our state values, our component state values, which is going to be all the fields. So we need a constructor. Oops. Okay, and we'll pass in any props that come in, and then we're just going to call super and then pass in props. And then we need to create our component state. And we're going to have quite a few things here. We're going to have a value for display social inputs, because like I said, we want to be able to toggle those, and by default it's going to be false. We're going to have handle, which is going to be an empty string. All these input fields are going to be empty strings. Company, website. You know what I'll do is I'm just going to paste the rest of these in, just to save some time here. And I'll just go through them. So website, location, status, skills, GitHub username, bio, Twitter, Facebook, all the social stuff, and then errors. Okay, we're going to do the same thing like we did with the login and registration, where we get the errors from the state and put them into from the Redux state and put them into our component state. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's map our state to props and get what we need. Basically, we need the profile state, we need the errors, okay, the error state. Remember, we have our own errors reducer. So let's say const map state to props. And we want profile state dot profile and errors state dot errors, and we might as well add our prop types here while we're at it. So CreateProfile dot prop types, and we'll set let's set CreateProfile is going to be an action that we bring in. Actually, let's not do that yet, because we still need to create all the form fields. So we'll just put our profile state, prop types dot object is required, errors, prop types dot object dot is required. All right, so now we're going to create our fields. Let's bring in our text field group. So we'll go import. We want text field group, and that's going to be from ... slash, and then that's going to be in the common folder, and then we want text field group. Okay. Yeah. Now down here in our render, inside the return, let's we're gonna have basically like the heading. So let's say class name, and we'll call this CreateProfile. And inside here, we're gonna have a container. Inside the container, we'll have a row. And let's do, what we're going to do is an 8-column div, so call md8, but I want it in the middle, so we're going to do m-auto. And this is all in the template and the theme if you want to check that out as well. And then we want basically a heading, so we'll do an h1 with the class name of display-4. We're also going to do text-center, and we're going to say create your profile. Okay, and then we're going to have a paragraph with the class of lead and also the class of text center. And in here, we're just going to say let's get some information to make your profile stand out. And then underneath the paragraph, we're going to put a small tag with the class of d-block to display as block, and then we want padding bottom 3. So we want those classes, and we're just going to say that the star is equal to required fields, like that. All right, so let's save that. Now what I'm going to do before we add any fields or anything, I want to make sure that we can add this component to our routing. So we're going to go to app.js, and we're going to bring this in up here. So let's see, we'll copy this down, and this is going to be CreateProfile. It's going to be in the create-profile folder, and we want the CreateProfile component. That's right? Yeah. And then down here for a route, this obviously is going to be a private route, so I'm just going to copy this, and we're going to change this to create-profile, and the component will be CreateProfile. All right, so let's try that. So we'll go back here. That's just the theme. Let's go to our app, and let's try to log in. Okay, so now this goes to that route CreateProfile. Let's try it out, and there we go. So it's loading our component. Now in the next video, what I want to do is start to create some more of our input fields, because like I said, for the theme, we already have the text field group component, which is most of these, okay, all of these, but we need one for the select. We need one for the text area, which is going to be pretty much the same thing as the text area group. or the text field group, except it will have a text area tag. And then these will also have their own component, each of these, because they have this add-on with the icon and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and create those components in the common folder, and then we'll implement them into our create profile form. All right, so we'll get to that next.